Welcome to Mike, who's 70, and his wife, Rachel, who's 37. It's lovely to have you both here, and thank you for coming in. So you first met 14 years ago. I mean, you've been married to a guy previously, and you'd had 2 children, but as with often these things didn't work out. You, Mike, you'd previously been married but been alone for 15 years. Yeah. And so when your marriage broke down, he was there to help. And so did you go to him? Did you ask him for help? How did he help?
Yeah, we met at a church that we were at together. He was in a position where he had lots of contacts. My marriage had been failing for several years, and it was very sudden, really. My husband had gone out with the children. Something happened, and I decided that was it. I'd had enough. I rang Mike up and I said, I'm leaving him. Can you help me find somewhere to stay? So Mike picked me up. We actually went back round to the church. He did some phoning around, found some friends who would take me in with the children for a couple of weeks. So I went to stay there. And Mike, over the next couple of weeks, Mike took a week off work. He gave me loads and loads of help. He was just absolutely fantastic.
Was there an attraction from the word go, or was it straightforward, just his friend in crisis?
It was a friend in crisis, but there's also an attraction. I mean, I've been attracted to Rachel for a long time. I'd met her a few, I don't know, how long was it before?
It's about 7 years.
So this was a secret love at first, was it?
Yes, I suppose, really. I always liked her, always fancied her a bit.
You're clinging on for dear life to each other. That's so sweet.
And then she came for help, and that's a lovely way to get to know someone considerably better, and that's what happened. I mean, you did click.
Yes.
What was it about him that clicked with you?
For love, were you, at this point?
No, I certainly wasn't looking for love, and I was actually very surprised when I realised I had some feelings for Mike, because obviously he's a lot older than me. I didn't expect it, but I had never been treated so well by anybody, so well respected. So without anybody wanting something back from me, he was giving and giving, but not taking, and that was quite a shock, really.
When you found out that you were in love. And what about you?
A shock to me as well.
Get out of it. You were expecting that right from the word go. Surely you thought, here she is.
I mean, look at this. I mean,
no, Mike.
I always say I look a bit like an oil painting, something like Picasso's done.
Well, you did say that he needed a makeover.
Yes, he did a little bit. He needed a bit of TLC, didn't he?
And I was going to be cheeky and I was going to ask you about the other side of your relationship, but you very quickly became pregnant within 6 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean...
well done, Tiger.
Because I'd actually struggled to conceive with my oldest 2 children. I had been tested for infertility in the past, and with him being in his 60s, I thought I could easily take a chance and I would be fine, but...
and then, wonderfully, you got married, and you found out you were pregnant with your second child just a week before the marriage. So, for you, this is a big ask, because you've been alone for 15 years, then you find the person that really, obviously, would have loved to have found her earlier on, but you now have this family, and you are that little bit older.
Yeah.
And you are taking full responsibility as well, aren't you?
Yeah, that's great.
What's your role?
I'm a house husband, basically. I do the school runs, get up in the night with them, do sort of like meals and stuff. I mean, Rachel does some of the meals, but I do most of them because I've got more time, and it's just, it's sort of like it. I suppose really it's a bit like being a
full-time dad.
Full-time dad, but also like the role that you expect the wife to have.
Well, you're a breadwinner. I mean, you're sort of studying for your nursing now, and that's the path, isn't it? The chosen path would be nursing. Well, we've got to ask, though. I mean, biology is unstoppable. There are laws of biology, and you are an older father, and there is no getting away from the fact that you won't be with those children for as long as you would like.
No, but I mean, I don't look at it that way. I don't look at the future. I'm going to be here till 120. At least. I've got people to annoy, so I'm just keep going to annoy them as long as possible. But yeah.
Where you met was church. You're both religious.
Yeah.
And very early on, the church kind of ostracised you both, didn't they, when your relationship began? Did you feel let down?
Initially, it was very difficult, but looking back, I can understand why they took the step that they did. They felt, because I was still legally married, that it was like committing adultery. Although I had actually walked out on my husband before I started the relationship, but in law, I was still married, if that makes sense. So it was quite awkward staying there. But looking back, I can understand why they did what they did, and they didn't have time to think things through and, you know, reflect on it. It was all quite quick and emotional, really. So I don't hold any hard feelings.
It's a lot for a congregation to take on board, isn't it? You have, you know, that relationship which you just described. You were a part-time sort of volunteer pastor as well, so you'd been amongst the congregation.
Yeah.
And then there was the age gap, and then you got pregnant. So for any congregation, it's a lot to take on board.
I think the problem was that Rachel's ex-husband needed some support, and we felt that if we were staying there as well, then it wouldn't do him any good, and they wouldn't be able to give him the support that they needed to. So we found another church.
And did you get support from your friends and family? Because you have 5 children from your first
Yes,
marriage, don't you? So how do the families get on? What was their first reaction?
Well, one of my lads just asked if he said, "Oh, has she got a friend?"
You say that age is just a number. I mean, we saw there that it's Jessica, isn't it? I think it's Jessica that sort of said it looks a little bit weird sometimes. What about the younger ones? I assume they know no different, so it's perfectly okay for them.
Just recently they've started to understand. Natasha, our 6-year-old, was asking about our ages, and then she said, so Daddy's a lot older than you then? And I was like, yeah. So it's just kind of dawned on them that maybe there's something a bit different, but they just get on with it, don't they?